Hello everyone, this is Joel with SB Review. So today we're going to be covering the PETLIBRO Automatic Feeder versus the Oneisall Automatic Pet Feeder. We're going to be covering all the different features, covering their different functionalities to see which one is actually worth it. You can actually use both of these for either a cat or a dog. So both of these actually have an app where you can manage the scheduling, the portions, and it'll even tell you when it has low food. But let's go ahead and put food in both of these. Okay, so there's also an indicator on the front here telling us that this is empty. And all you have to do to start filling it, turn this lid at the top, take this off. That indicator just turned off, so it has a good sensor in there. Within the app, we can actually choose how many cups you want to give our pet. So we just click on feed now. And it'll even tell you in the app how many cups have been fed already. And it even shows logs within the app to tell you all that's going on with the automatic feeder. And you can even set a schedule within the app. So that way throughout the day, it'll automatically dispense the food. You can select the feeding time, the feeding amount. Let's say you wanted 3 cups. And then you can do repeat, never, every day, or custom. And then you can choose a label if you want. And you can create a handful of those. Now there's also a meal call option. So within the app, if you select it, it'll play an audio recording. So you can pretty much just add your voice to it. And then your cats will obviously recognize that and they'll come over to eat. Now, one feature that's pretty smart about this is that it has a lock mode on it. So every 30 to 60 seconds, this will automatically lock. So that way your pets are not going to be like touching and feeling all over this, disabling the modes, messing up the settings. So that's pretty cool that they did that. And then if you wanted to, and all these different buttons that you see here are accessible through the app. It says the buttons are locked. And then if we hold down on this button here for 5 seconds, that'll unlock the button. That way, if you wanted to manually set the settings, you can do that. And in the app, you can also change the measurement units from cup to ounces to grams or millimeters. And they even have the entire user manual within the app. That way, if you have any issues or if you need troubleshooting tips, they'll all be there. And this bowl is completely removable. It's gonna be really easy to clean, and you can put it in the dishwasher if you wanted to. Now for this feeder, you can actually schedule it for 10 meals a day, and you can also use it for multiple pets. Obviously, it would be a little bit more ideal that you had multiple bowl outlets. For this specific model, it doesn't have that. And the great thing about this is that this operates on a cord there, so you can see that it's plugged in to that outlet, but it also takes batteries. So just in case the power goes out or whatever reason, it's going to use those batteries as backup. And this bottom bowl part is completely removable too. And if you look on the bottom here, this is where you can put in it takes 3 alkaline D. All right, so next up, let's talk about the Oneisall. Let's go ahead and put some cat food in here. And this one holds about 5 liters or 20 cups of cat food. I'll definitely say this one right away is much easier to fill up just because of how wide the top is. And just like the PETLIBRO, it'll tell you when the cat food is low. It locks back into place. And as long as the kibbles for this one are within 0.5 inches, they're gonna feed well through the feeder. Anything more than that, you might have some difficulty, but that shouldn't be an issue. Now, right away, the main thing that you're probably noticing is that there's 2 feeders here. So this is going to be ideal if you're the person that has multiple cats, multiple dogs, and you don't want them to be fighting over food and stuff like that. But let's talk about the app features. So within the app, very similar to the PETLIBRO, you can choose the amount of portions that you want. You got 1 cup, 2 cups. Let's go ahead and do 2. And as you can see, it feeded them really well. Just so you guys can get a better view of this, but I'm gonna go ahead and click the quick button. It's definitely very responsive. Now within the app, you can also set feeding plan, just like the PETLIBRO app. So I can go ahead and click on add. You can set Sunday through Saturday. You can set the exact time you want. You can select the portions that you want. Now, and just like the PETLIBRO, you can select the feed record to see your pets have been fed. And my mistake, within the app, you actually cannot set the type of portions that you want. Like you can't set cups, ounces, or grams, just call it portions. If you look on the front here, we have a screen. So it has a lock mode, which is pretty standard, just like the PETLIBRO. Then we have this button here. So if we press it, that'll unlock it. And we have a couple of different modes here. We have the recorder mode, we have a feeding mode. It'll manually push out the food, just like the PETLIBRO. You get the recorder, And so what I am seeing is that one portion is about 10 grams or 1/12 of a cup or about 2.5 teaspoons. And then with the recording feature, you can actually record your voice by holding down on this, and it'll play every single time that the feeding schedule has started. So far I do like how the app on this seems to be simpler compared to the PETLIBRO app. Just easier to navigate, looks cleaner. And to clean these, you can easily just take these out, remove these, dump them out, throw it in the dishwasher. And this operates the same as the PETLIBRO. You get this cord that you can connect to an outlet. That's where it's going to mainly get its supply, but if the power goes out for whatever reason, you can put backup batteries in here. There's also this lock slide right here. You always want to make sure that this is unlocked. So it's unlocked right now because let's say you go out of town and you forget and you have this locked, it's not going to feed food through here. Then your pets are going to be starving. So all in all, I do think that both of these perform quite well. They both hold about 5 liters or 20 cups of food. The apps are pretty easy to navigate. The Oneisall's app was a little bit easier to navigate compared to the PETLIBRO. It's more simple, I would say. Now, if we were to talk about the quality of both of these, I would definitely say that the PETLIBRO seems to be higher quality than the Oneisall. One thing I do kind of wish is that since this Oneisall is mainly for multiple pets, is that maybe the food capacity was a little bit larger, but you can still use both of these for multiple pets. But like I said earlier, this one might be a little bit more ideal just because you have multiple bowls here. There's not going to be any fighting. And that's really the only main difference is the overall quality. So I would say if you're the type of person that has multiple pets, especially 2+ animals, I would definitely get the Oneisall. But if you mainly just have one or maybe a couple, but they don't eat a lot, then you could get the PETLIBRO. Other than that, there isn't that big of a difference between the two. They both perform well. They're going to be pretty easy to clean. And I forgot to mention that the PETLIBRO's app does seem to have a little bit more features compared to the Oneisall.